Hello and welcome to our fifth video on trigonometry and Pythagoras. I'm Mr. Chowdhury and today we're going to be looking at when to use which trigonometric ratio in our given right angle triangles. So we have already in a previous video looked at finding missing lengths of right angle triangles using trigonometry. If you haven't watched that video, I suggest you go and watch that one first. This video is going to be focused primarily on deciding which ratio to use. So we're not going to answer any questions, we're just going to decide which ratio we want to use to answer a particular question. So we'll do the first one together. So this is the triangle we're given. This is our right angle triangle. The first thing I'm going to do is label it. So I'm going to label it for you now. Hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent. So the hypotenuse is opposite the right angle, the opposite is opposite the angle, the adjacent is the one left. The next thing I'm going to do is decide which bits of information are useful to me. So let's have a look at the information I have. So I have the adjacent, I have the angle, and I want the hypotenuse. I have the adjacent, I have the angle, and I want the hypotenuse. Now the opposite, I don't care about. That information is not required because I have the required information to find the hypotenuse. So I've got the adjacent and the hypotenuse. Now I look at my ratios, which one of those would we use to find the hypotenuse? Which ratio has adjacent hypotenuse in it? So if you think about our mnemonic, so, ka, toa, ka has an adjacent and a hypotenuse in it, which is cos. So for this triangle, we would use cos. Okay? So now we're going to do another couple and we're going to go through them. I'm not going to give you as much assistance as I did in the first one, but all you need to do is decide whether we're using sine, cos, or tan. That's all you need to do. So here's your question. Pause the video. Sine, cos, or tan. Okay, I'll help you by giving you some labels. Okay, I'm going to help you some more by telling you which bits of information we need, and the answer is sine. Right, here's your next one. Here it is labeled. Okay, here's what we need, and we're going to use cos. Okay, so now we're going to go through them a little bit quicker. So here's your next diagram. Pause the video. Sine, cos, or tan. Right, so there it is labeled. We need the opposite and the adjacent, so we're going to use tan. Here's your next question. Pause the video. Sine, cos, or tan. Okay, so here it is labeled. We need the adjacent and the opposite. Adjacent and the opposite, so we use tan. Okay, pause the video. Here's your next one. Which one are we going to use? Sine, cosine, tangent. Okay, and we have our opposite and hypotenuse, so we're going to use sine. Next one. Here it is labeled. Opposite and hypotenuse, so we're going to use sine again. Here's another one. Right, opposite and hypotenuse, so we're going to use sine. Here's your next one. Alright, remember we need to label the triangle. Find out what sides we are going to use or what sides we're working with. And we use cosine for this one. Adjacent hypotenuse, cos. Here it is labeled. We've got the adjacent and the hypotenuse. We're going to use cos again. One more. Here it is what we need. Adjacent, opposite, tan. So hopefully that's helped and you're becoming a lot better at deciding which ratio to use. If you're super confident, go and watch Mr. Amison's video to do some practice. Dr. Frost Corbett Maths, a great place to practice. go off, be productive, and I'll see you in the next video.